Just about set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. And he'll manage to get this back only to about the 20-yard line. First and 10. And he is hit behind the line of scrimmage. The defense with a statement on the game's first play.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Texas football program, Matthew McCullough. Only better for him when he's gone to the Washington Commanders, which is good.
From the gun, it's Allen. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back.
So often for a defense defending the passing game, the most difficult guy to account for is the running back out of the backfield. So a really nice job here, bringing him down before he has a chance to pick up any yards after the catch.
On third down, it's Allen. That's over the middle and take it in. He's got it. 11 yards on the pass there. First down, Buffalo.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as my guy is better than your guy. We're going to just keep giving him a chance.
And he's going to be brought down past the 45.
Does a nice job of finishing as the run straight loves that rip forward. The Chargers get one
balance between the
edge
run
rusher
and the
next to
pass.
it,
Some success here
the
early
SEC
on the
Defensive
ground.
Player of the Year.
Open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
So a pair of first downs moves him out to the 47-yard line. And it's first and 10.
And the Travis Hunter trade with Jackson.
And this time they are ready for it. Thrown for a loss. And it's second down.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
That's two straight. 6 Timothy Gabriel late last night. Now Sampson, the running back out of Tennessee, Charles.
From the shotgun, it's Allen.
Because we were talking about Cleveland
as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyway.
Wide
We do
open,
know it'll be third down.
wide splits, big plays downfield, the passing game.
Hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that
Defense
ball
played well
out
for them.
to prevent
And
the
Dylan Sampson picked up the mantle and carried it with him. Got hurt late in the Vanderbilt game and clicks the
Play of
spot
this
to beat
opening drive, and here's third down.
Jeff Gibson Sampson, that's a nice duo.
That's perfect for Jeff Stefanski, what he wants to do.
Here's the Colts. They traded down 10 spots into this
Out of
pick.
the gun, here's Allen. Now he'll air one out. Oh, the defender able to get his head around and intercept it. Big return at the end. He's going to get out of bounds close to midfield.
And they end up getting a big
Mike, that
here.
everything breaks
And
right
Jalen
for
Travis.
this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blind, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
The feet were a little inconsistent. I don't think he's a great space player.
Here's a second and 6. They bring the tight end in motion. From the gun, it's Herbert. He'll get this complete to Wiley, his tight end. Pick up of 11 yards on that one. And the Chargers have the first down.
The Washington select Jalen
On first down, it's White. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
That's been the theme. That's what you're seeing.
See the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. But credit to the defense. Great job.
Now Herbert throwing on second down. By the tight end, Riley. And he's out of bounds all the way inside the 15-yard line. 2 times they've connected on this drive now. This one for 21 yards and a first down.
Bubble screen, anything to get the ball in his hands early, and then let that speed take over.
And that's what Washington does in that offense. They get the ball out quick.
The man in motion is Watson.
The Ravens gave it to today with the most games.
Shotgun snap and a give to White. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's second down.
It's the seventh pick. Yeah. A 20th overall pick in damage.
Another run here with White. And he's inside the 10. Pushing forward for a gain of 5 yards.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You've got to have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Third down, 3 to go.
That's the value of the asset there.
I'll try to run for you. Here's White. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a first and goal. Good running. Gets them down to about the 4-yard line.
In real time from up here, Mike, I couldn't tell whether or not he got it at first glance, but I think after seeing the replays we have up here, it looked like he and his blockers got just enough, and they're going to be able to keep this drive alive.
They'll run with White. And he'll float forward to the 2. Setting up second and goal.
Not at all to your point.
To throw his perfect. That is caught. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1. Setting up third and goal.
I'm thinking.
These are the worst. I had a couple of years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times, and then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get one more yard? Now, for him individually, not bad.
He will fight his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. His 12th touchdown of the year. So on third and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on 4th down. Taking care of it on the 3rd down for the touchdown.
Yeah, when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. Not much there, maybe a yard. From the gun, Josh Allen. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. Well, he's brought down that pass.
Off the ball, also can rush the passer a little bit, had 3 sacks. The coverage can be a small concern, a little bit of a knock there, but I don't think since the stuff you can really well. I mean,
now Allen. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And he'll be out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35-yard line. Big-time play there for Buffalo. 31 yards. It's first down, and they'll run. And a good tackle out wide will hold them to just 3.
This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed for your money back. This stuff works with big loans and small loans.
They face second down and 7.
Works without killing your lawn. This stuff works without killing your weekend. This stuff works for rookies and the season's brothers. This stuff works in Knoxville, Ross,
Allen will throw.
The DQ freezer is opening again.
That is brought in at the 10. He is in. Keon Coleman. Touchdown Buffalo.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan.
Yes, the time has come for a fresh approach to dog food.
Go down there and come away with a touchdown.
More dog people are deciding each time to quit the kibble and feed their dogs
what are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
More dogs eat. This time has come.
So back to level after the touchdown. And time for the kickoff.
Jess, we're downstairs. Only one that, right?
Johnson now to return. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line.
Grand plans need a Grand Highlander. Toyota. Let's go places.
Monday on the Insiders, we'll have all the news from around the NFL, plus live team reports
so they come
and
to the
expert
line
analysis
for first
as
down
only
and
NFL
10.
Network can deliver. Catch it all Monday at 7 Eastern on the Insiders.
Shotgun now for Herbert. He'll take a shot for Watson. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was around. And it'll be second down. Throwing, Herbert. Will get this out quickly to Lamb. Call it a gain of 13. First down, L.A.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. The Bills have got it. The quarterback was on the move, starting to gain some yards, but then he lost the ball. And the fumbles recovered by the defense.
And early on, it was actually a really good job by the quarterback.
Defensive player now is like, if I'm going to trade for the pick, it's got to at least be on brand for me.
He decided not to slide and give himself up.
They got backwards, they took straight a little bit. That's what they're saying. Hey, listen, how is this trade? It's the guy you chose anyway.
That'd be Alabama or Georgia. The folks at Alabama, they use the word trust. They trusted him. As soon as he got on campus, they could get him right on the field.
Stays with him, keeps him to a short game.
The Saints, though, selection, they're fifth for this draft.
To throw is Allen.
Today, we've got
He'll get rid of it and complete it. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
I don't think we all appreciate enough just how difficult it is to throw on the run.
I love this player. Casey Riley is talented, ultra competitive, had a phenomenal week at the Senior Bowl. The practices there, you saw that competitiveness on display. Here he is in off coverage. He's got a little twitch to him. He ended up running the high 4.4. Don't get you thought to worry about his long speed. I didn't really have those concerns, and I thought the short area quickness was excellent. The toughness here as well, Speedy. He's not afraid to tackle. I love corners that are physical and love to get involved in the run game. He'll do that. And also add a little bit of production on the pass as well. So I just thought kind of a twitched up, sudden player who played with a lot of urgency and intensity.
He wanted a little bit of Jarvis Brownlee who came out of there.
Yeah, I think she's
a little bit stronger. That same type of feistiness, get after you type of a player. On the day of the Thanksgiving.
So the Bears are now on the clock, which may have been while you're hearing some news behind your Quincy Riley analysis.
I like how you say Bay. Mention the Bears. They're in Green Bay. Maybe some moves. Yeah, definitely.
Guess White coming out there yesterday.
Just Seth Rollins. He just set it up for him, didn't he?
Actually, Matthews set the tone.
Like, got out of the gate fast.
The Titans got even put on a trap to save this thing.
He jumped it in the commission like that. We didn't even throw him on the clock yet.
Matthews set the tone. He was a tone setter when he played here in Green Bay. All right, so the Chicago Bears, take a look at that graph.
He knocks it through.
Starts with first and Loveland.
14-7 lead.
Hand off tonight. And since then, they went Lisa Burden from Missouri, and then out of Boston. Defensive line, which they really has been free agency. Jamar Turner for the defensive line late last night. Actually, not so late last night. They had a third-round selection. This is their first pick since the 62nd pick overall. They traded down earlier to get a fifth in their pocket when the Bills moved up to take Deion Walker, the defensive tackle out of Kentucky. So just kind of setting the stage here for your thoughts, Dan.
Look at their early work that they did. Start in the offseason, go out and get those interior offensive linemen, and then they come with weapons in the draft for Caleb Williams. This is going to be fun team to watch with Ben Johnson next year.
Yeah, normally a team with their record last year, you wouldn't expect much. They could be one of those teams that gets out of the gate very quickly with Ben Johnson.
Out of the gun, here's Herbert. This one complete. It's Watson. Second and 7.
Football league. What do you think here? Go ahead, City.
Yeah, this is the guy that popped up late in the
Certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through.
The whole idea of the play action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
He'll let this one rip, looking for Watson. That is brought in. And he's going to be dragged down, but not until he's inside the 25.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picks up decent yardage along the way.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with his ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
They'll come up now for second down and 4.
So
now it's Herbert. Left side, caught by Lamb. This drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up first and goal for his team.
Nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than being able to pick up a first down without being forced to push the ball downfield and force it past the line to gain. He settles for the underneath check down. He's confident that his receiver is going to pick up the rest after the catch.
He pulls it in around the 5. A second effort, and he is in. Quentin Johnston, touchdown Chargers.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play call just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass, results in the touchdown pass. But really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection.
So when you graduate University of Wisconsin, you go out for the jump around.
That goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone, 4 touchdowns.
Combo. Yep. Possible. Number 20. Got Bears written.
Fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
Would you put him in? So the City Chiefs started with Josh Simmons at the very end of wrapped up Friday night. Norman Long, very defensive tackle positions from Tennessee. And that was at the end of round 2, and then they essentially kicked off round 3. Was at the end of round 4. We're fortunate the fourth selection. We've got a 57. So this is the first remaining picks for the Chiefs in this draft. Remember, when you get towards this portion of the draft, when we were doing it in Radio City, and there was just a few hundred people out there, and you could throw them cookies, and now we've got millions and millions. It's unbelievable. Is this minion out there asking for a picture with him?
They're going to get this all the way down.
Chiefs Kingdom is here, and the German Emirates are ready for the next.
4 seconds to go.
With the 133rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jalen Hurts, wide receiver, Utah State.
A couple of big plays.
It's a Kansas City. Utah State. Perfect to play right next to where he was. I was wondering if they're going to announce it from England. They're going to put there as well. But Royals, there's some people who thought he'd go off the board in the second round. He's compact build. You think about guys who've played at that size and then that speed. It reminds me a little bit of the guy who used to play here, Randall Cobb, who's got that compact build but can really, really get out and go. A young Randall Cobb, that was someone he reminded me of. Big time one-handed catch, by the way, in the Utah game. Don't you think you could run some Debo plays with him too? Strong. We're having a lot of fun here on a Saturday, which means stump the truck later on. We'll do the run, rich run later on. That's part of our tradition. Okay.
Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Johnson now to return. And they will finally get him down, but he gets all the way close to the 40-yard line.
That's cute.
For Eddie Edwards. We were born on the battlefield and answered the call when America needed us most. Chief Brands always stood for American freedom. Now, with our freedom of choice pricing program, is able to dealer to choose
from the gun, it's Herbert.
Pricing for America's most patriotic brand.
Downfield, it's CeeDee Lamb. Now it's timeout Chargers here at their second. As the clock stops, 21 seconds to go until halftime.
We've really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and this seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
Refreshing works down.
He's going to run it. And there it is. The defense comes up with a big play, forcing the
network of sales and service dealers.
Their offense right back on the field. Coming up, Greg, with a big turnover.
Taking the ball away, Mike, has really become
something amazing is happening
in the NFL. Some teams are good at it.
Climate researchers are weathering a data storm.
But in this case, Great job.
That's because CDW transformed their devices and infrastructure with Lenovo ThinkLeads and powerful edge-to-cloud solutions, delivering faster insights and increased performance, giving them the scale to stay ready for Lenovo's
is trying to attack.
Make amazing happen.
So when you have a tight end
Lenovo and CDW.
you can get vertical down the middle.
He knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Dak goes for it, and he fumbles. Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app.
He always delivers.
And so does the Lowe's app. In store online, our Lowe's team has you covered. Why 80% of NFL players choose to go for smart bet?
Because the higher my sleep IQ score, the better I play. That's not the only reason.
Sleep Number does that effortlessly for all night. So sleeping like Sleep you can play like this?
Yeah, because I also like to sleep cool.
And I like to sleep even
I like it. And we both get what we want.
Sleep Number does that. You need to sleep and flying cool smart bet.
This one's still anyone's game. We'll see who can come out with the hot hand in the second half. About to get started.
None of us make it very far alone. It takes a team. A community that writes off no one believes in the potential of
And we're back underway here on EA
check
Sports.
space, children don't just get alive.
Johnson now to
thrive.
return.
And choose to not just listen to one another, but learn from one another.
And he's brought
Having
down
a team
right
like that,
the 35-yard line. Here's first and 10. Tight end going in motion here. Off he goes.
He tried to buy all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, they've been aggressive. That's just really good.
that's Vance Joseph. I mean, the defense was really good last year.
I don't think defense will be as good as it was.
Here's second and
Production
2.
from guys like Sam Gowan and Nick Benito. Things really start to take off.
They'll run out of the gun. This is White. And he's going to pick up the first down across midfield.
Robinson
and down
here.
to the 49.
Looks like it's the selection. He reminded me of Jalen Hunt, just a little bit lighter version. We saw Jalen Hunt go in about this range a little earlier than this last year. The Philadelphia Eagles, we saw when he developed
Too much
into
room on the
special
ground, and the offense is able to pick up the first down.
A lot of special teams, you have to wait this turn to get to the field, find all those guys that elevate. But you watch the Jewish game and these teams
Throw to the right side. It is caught.
guys on the edge.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Really in there too.
Mike, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. The easiest down to throw the ball in the NFL is first down. I hate when teams wait until later in the possession to throw the ball. So early first down completion, you're on the plus side of the field. Now you're thinking strikes. Touchdown, field goal. Either way, I'm coming away with points.
This one complete to Atwell. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
To my
Just
football
take
team's
what
been
the
good
defense is giving you.
The
You
IC
can stay
team
ahead of the chains and just
football
take these
team
easy pitch and catch
50%
throws underneath pitch routes, quick game.
It's a
Now it'll put you in a lot more
135th pick
favorable
in the
down the distances
2025
to eventually attack this
The
defense
Vegas
a
Raiders
little bit more
select
downfield.
Hemingway, defensive tackle. Just it's 346.
Toss into the hands of Lamb. His fifth catch of the afternoon. Good for a first down.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field?
You got to be able to do a lot of different things, I guess, if you're playing with that little toy truck. He's someone that moves all over the line of scrimmage. Excellent on games when they'll be up him, stun him. He does that thing where he'll go to his knee and still be able to balance at the point of attack. We saw that with last year. That's part of his repertoire. That technique that he uses had nice scoring. They use him on offense. You'll see 2-point conversions. They use him on a fake field goal. So a fun toy to play with. The Raiders, yeah. So it'd be Chip Kelly, him and JJ McGee. So yeah, they
Wildcat. But that wasn't catch off the fake field goal.
Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back.
They just traded, so Tennessee just popped it.
Team can establish a little bit more of this
and the Seahawks, then the Niners.
unfolds. It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
I mean, he's not a top there draft order. They just view Tonka Hemingway as more of a starter that can help them now than Shedeur, and they figured he could be on the board. And it's going to be a fifth-round pick at the very least at this
You mentioned theme of what Pete Carroll, John Scott did.
I just thought they wanted to do it right now. They go out and get another quarterback. Go out and get this right now. Let's go win. But we've reached the flyer portion of the draft, right? There's not a lot of these guys are going to be starters at this point in time. You're trying to find a place for them. And I would argue that if you could hit on a quarterback here, even if he's a successful backup quarterback, it's a heck of a value.
When you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
We'll see a return here from his own end zone. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line.
That gets into the fifth.
No, not at all. So, Richard, you asked that question.
Daniel yesterday now. They'll start
what he was
from the
saying
24.
the Raiders doing. It's John Spytek, new GM.
Josh Allen.
Pete Carroll, head coach. Bigger, stronger, more physical players. Tonka Hemingway fits into that. Even if he's not going to be a starter right away, that's what they're adding to their ball club right now for their new culture, their new identity.
First pick of the draft was the Tigers, and now here's the latest.
Handoff here, up the middle.
Ravens have traded
Open space to the 35. Oh, what a run. Down inside the 30-yard line.
the Tennessee Titans Stadium.
It's a fun here because you see that nugget at the very top, 284 yards against Colorado in 2023. A lot of that damage was done against the guy he's going to see inside his own division twice a year. Really, the only bad tape that Travis Hunter's in those years at Colorado. But he's tall, he can go get it, a vertical wide receiver. I don't think you want him stopping and starting quite as much, CD, but get him on the move and give Cam Ward some shots down the field.
Well, they're making sure they're taking care of the young quarterback, aren't they, DJ? Look at what Tennessee's accumulated. And here's the game that you're referencing. Kyle Manor had a big ball game. Won these one-on-one balls against Travis Hunter. And this was a game that Stanford was down huge and came all the way back and beat Colorado in that game in no small part because of what Kyle Manor did. Look, these Canadian receivers, they did a nice job. Josh Palmer's Canadian receiver came out of there.
It's a great good players of you pointing this out. Was that, do you think, part of the reason why the Tigers just drafted him? They know that Travis Hunter's in the division now, and they could draft a kid that's already proven it against somebody like is there even factor the pitching in the look?
It doesn't hurt. It's a nice little cherry on top. If you've got a tie, they say tie goes to the runner. Right, you're in the draft room and you've got those guys neck and neck. Maybe that's that little tiny little nudge you could get to push him over the top.
One quick note, Rich, because you remember our man Thompson Sarah having to wrestle Tyson Bajan's dad down at the Senior Bowl.
Good field position.
His guy, is formerly an wrestler. So can we get a matchup with Tom? I'm not want any part of that.
We've got to send time to Nashville now. These spots, they take that shit. And it looks like they moved up from
On play action now. Herbert.
overall to take this pick here. Only cost them their last pick in the draft that they have, which is the 7th round for 238. So their draft will end now with pick 220 unless some changes. We've got 7 spots from the 5th round to the end of the 4th round for this selection. So, as I said,
Didn't Mike Vrabel say something about we want free agency? Guess what? They're continuing to win. And I'm just going to tell you right now, we're halfway from training camp and getting ready for the season, but the feel that Gerard Mayo had going in last year as a first-time head coach. Expectations for that team going into the season. See, Cincinnati, the opener, people went, oh, wow. And then it went right back to being what everyone expected. The expectations are a lot different. I'm not saying they're going to put them in the Super Bowl, but people are going to feel differently about this New England team going into the season than they did last year. It's a mission accomplished free agency into this draft. It's going to be an entirely different look from the New England team to start 2025. And one of the things, you look at the coaching staff they have, that's a good teaching coaching staff. So a lot of these good young players, talented young players, I think you're going to see them, get them up to speed and get them going early. I got bad back. So they're going to hit the ground.
He'll be marked down up
they know it's good.
25-yard line.
So the kick is in.
There's no more in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game. You can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice game to his tight end.
This 2025.
No, why don't you stay with him?
On that right sideline.
Shedeur Sanders is still on the draft board, and man, would I love to have that storyline end for everybody who's sick and tired of hearing it. Is led by Shedeur and the Sanders family themselves. So, and you can see there's still a lot of other top 100 players still sitting out there on the draft boards from Daniel Jeremiah's best available. It's the penultimate pick of 24.
They'll turn and hand this one off.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laurentiis, defender for Flamengo and the Brazil national soccer team. Proudly representing Pets Nation from the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And with the 137th pick, the New England Patriots select Josh Allen, defensive tackle, Florida State. Go Pats!
Did they fly Patriots on there, or just
I think they're Buckles with their head corner.
Joshua, let's consider him costume double. He was my 77th overall player. They just scooped him up with, what are we at, 137? So this was about some injury concerns and some durability and longevity, I should say. But this is a player who deserved to go much earlier than this, who has got some pop in his hands. He's got a quick first step. He can win early. I think there's what we saw at the Senior Bowl. I think there's more pass rush upside with him, CD. So everything's like, oh, how long is someone going to play? This guy, give me him for the next 5 years. If that was all I would get, that's a heck of a pick at this point.
Absolutely. And again, he fits the mold of what they're trying to do and trying to upgrade their team. They've got better skill positions on offense. But again, not sacrificing the physicality they want to play because they're going to play in the image of their head coach. Freeman's not going to tolerate anything less than that. It's that way. That's something between other folks that get labeled, okay, you might be a one-contract player. They get out of that. And I say, you know what second contract I'm interested in? My own. Yeah, if he helps me win for the next 3 or 4 years, that gets all of us another extension. So, I like that. You can hang out the field a little bit after
with the fifth round, and obviously we're talking a lot about Shedeur Sanders is out there as well.
I don't think we've mentioned his name. That's the other thing, right? Bill Howard mentioned he's a
He's shed his blocker, make the play, no game. You often see College football regular season game of the year for Syracuse. There's the question of Quinn Ewers, formerly of the Ohio State, going to Texas, leading Texas in the college football playoffs in back-to-back years. I mean, this is there's some other quarterbacks living with their teams in the fifth round, unless San Francisco chooses one of them with the final pick. The fifth round, they can run 38 here.
Third and goal. They go play action now. Here's Allen. He's got his big
What's up? What's up? Say what's up?
Amazing place. I just want to say hi to my son Flynn back in Australia. And what an amazing place to be here in Green Bay, where the 49ers and the Packers had some amazing games in the past.
An extra point attempt.
138th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The San Francisco 49ers select Jordan Watkins, wide receiver receiver, Mississippi.
Here in this fourth quarter.
The fourth or fifth, that's a fourth right out that's gone just in this fourth round. I mean, it's incredible. Even 4-3-7. See, but surprised he ran it fast. I thought
comes a return.
4-4s. But this guy
good return here. Brings it up to the 33.
That's what I got excited about, because he can adjust. He'll get the ball in the red zone. Another one to me, CD, I think he's best on the move. You look at his teammate, Trey Harris, I thought was a little more smooth coming back down this stem. He was a little bit better at getting him on the move. What you talked about there, go ahead and explain that just a little bit more. Move versus him running those type of routes where you got cut inside and present yourself to your quarterback. Yeah, when you got a settle, drop your weight, get in and out of the break, I didn't know that was his strength, but to me, goals, clusters, close, that's where he's at his best. When he gets it on the move, he's moving past people.
And we are moving to commercial break.
If you find yourself here in the fourth quarter, your team is trailing. You're trying to do anything possible to see if you can create some sort of late spark. He goes big-time effort on the layout catch, and he's able to pull it in and see if it could be a little bit of a spark here late in this ballgame.
Check out the new
Fully custom.
Pretty Bud Lights can fit there, puppy.
As many Bud Lights as states.
A lot of Bud Lights.
They'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on third down.
Right now, spring deals are under $20 at the Home Depot. So no matter what you're working on, you can save big on all your spring projects. Now through May 7th, shop spring deals for $20 at the Home Depot.
It's Lewis. And they're going to get this ball down to the 20-yard line.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
About 19 yards on that one. They're in business. It's first and goal. Take the handoff. Now her. The blitz overwhelming the offensive line, and down he goes. So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. We'll come back and
it is adrenaline
after this.
The stage electric.
Now, second and goal. They'll drop to throw. He pulls it in around the 5. Nice run here on second down inside the 5 with more options now available for third and goal.
Good Lord, she's very clever.
They got him.
Who's winning in the end?
This entire drive, it feels like the defense was really on their heels. The offense was taking it.
Mine and my husband's favorite food, and actually the reason we met was because I was working at a restaurant that is known for its chicken wings. That's the only thing that I requested from my parents at dinner. To pause and breathe and realize that, yeah, that's my husband. I'm going to marry my best friend.
Now, the extra point. It's up and good. And the Chargers will cut the deficit to 7.
Michael has actually taught me what it looks like to accept help.
Even with
back here in Green Bay, as round 5 begins, you'll notice some folks wearing coral-colored shirts and draft rooms across the NFL. Those were in honor of Colts Director of College Scouting, Matt Turpining's wife, Westman Turpining, passed away unexpectedly on April 12th at the age of 45. Paul was a lifelong sports fan who loved cheering for the Colts, in addition to being a devoted wife and mom. Matt Turpining and the couple's daughter, Stella and Gwyneth, are in the Colts draft room together.
Now again, up the middle.
Yeah, I've known Turf for over 20 years, and the scouting community is really tight, and you can see them all coming together It's our way of giving Terp a hug. As you look at the Pete Carroll and the Raiders draft room, all just trying to Terp let you and let Dell and Gwyneth know how much this scouting community, this NFL community, is hurting for you. We love you. Terp, every time I saw Terp, I just saw him at the Big 12 Pro Day, and we sat there. We talked about the girls and how volleyball was going. Terp is a family man, and this was shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Fucking time.
I know that you guys are hurting, but you know that all of us here around the entire league, we love on you. We're here to support you, Terp. We love you, buddy. And we're a phone call away. Anything you can call any of us. We all love you. We're praying for you guys. Stella, Gwyneth, we love you too. We're praying for you as well.
Send our condolences here on the Film Network to the Turpin family. For rest in peace. You could see the support around these draft rooms. So when we show some draft rooms, you see the shirts, you know what it's about. Meanwhile, we're off and we're running on the 5th round. Minnesota is already on the clock for a second time. And you can see your best available, time 200. Yes, if you're just tuning in now, a few minutes after 1 o'clock local time here in Green Bay, Eastern. Shedeur Sanders is still unpicked. He's gone through the first 4 rounds of this draft. And Minnesota is, again, on the clock for a second time here. This is their last pick in the draft. Once they're done here, unless they use some draft capital next year to trade back in, the Vikings will be done. They came in with the fewest picks in this draft with 4. And once they are done with the selection.
But they get good weather in Minneapolis. They got to get out into it.
So these were the picks that went down while we were away in commercial break. The Syrian Ingram Dawkins got selected. He is the first pick of the 5th round.
Georgia defensive player, there's a bunch of them, and it's been like that for a long time. Inside, outside. Look, last year he could have gone in the portal and got a ton of money, and he decided to stay at Georgia, wanted to stay with his guys, and ended up, he also could have come out into the draft as well, Stevie. So he stayed there and showed that versatility as we look at big Cam Jackson, a monster defensive tackle from Florida. Big DTs in the SEC, Charles. I mean, that was a theme when you're watching all these DTs this year. They all came from the SEC, it seems like.
And had Cam Jackson and Deion Walker at the Senior Bowl. And when those guys came out for warm-ups, they started running around the field, everything shook. You have to make sure you check your balance because those are big, big people. Things up inside.
You went to the Panthers, the Titan selection. I guess I need to be a little careful here between so many choices. This is the Ravens net selection. Let's get that from the stage.
How we doing, Green Bay? Yeah. It's the Baltimore Ravens, the 2012 World Champions, the back-to-back AFC North Champions. Would like to announce 141st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Baltimore Ravens will select Carson Benson, tackle, Alabama A&M. Let's go for it. Woo!
That's a big man. Let's check on Carson Vincent here. That's just going to trade that of note once you're done with this Alabama A&M case here.
Sure. Yeah, he's massive. Baltimore loves to collect these big offensive tackles, and he brought. We even saw that at the Senior Bowl. There's still development that needs to take place there. They didn't have the best Senior Bowl game, but they believe in their program there. They can develop these guys. But I mentioned size. When I started there was Jonathan Ogden and Orlando Brown. I mean, this has gone on for a long time. They've collected big tackles.
They haven't gotten smaller.
So the Seattle Seahawks just traded into this final pick for the Vikings in the draft. So the Vikings moved down to 172. And the Seattle Seahawks move up to 142. And the price of that trade was Sam Howell. Now, when they drafted Jalen Milroe last night in Seattle, that gave them Drew Lock, gave them Sam Darnold, that gave them Drew Lock and Sam Darnold, and they got rid of one Sam. And so Sam Howell goes to where Sam Darnold came from. So Seattle can then move up and then check the box for the Vikings to get a more veteran presence in house for them to throw into the quarterback room with J.J. McCarthy. There was tons of talk about potentially Kirk Cousins wind up back there again if something happens with Cousins in Atlanta. Would the Vikings even be interested? What will they do? Because they've given J.J. McCarthy all the opportunity to take this job. So Sam Howell now goes from Seattle. Jalen Miller was added to Drew Lock and Sam Darnold. Too many quarterbacks, and the Vikings get theirs. Ian?
Yeah, and this is a trade that's discussed between the two parties for a couple of weeks now. And you're right. Once the Seahawks landed another quarterback, once they got Jalen Miller, it was all about finding a landing spot for Sam Howell. Certainly someone the Vikings have been interested in. As far as you mentioned the Kirk Cousins part of it, I would be very surprised right now if there was a return to Minnesota, especially because they have now secured a veteran backup with J.J. McCarthy. It's some support for him as well.
All right, so these are all parts of the industry in draft rooms, in this draft hall, and then obviously with a quarterback slice finish. So we're at Seattle, move all the way up to Burkett. We're about to get that mystery reveal.
Hello, everyone from Germany. I'm Omari Williams, defensive back for Ryan Fire.
And I'm Ted Jeffries, the quarterback for the Ryan Fire. And we're coming to you live from Dusseldorf, Germany. As proud partners of the Seattle Seahawks, we are here to announce the Seahawks' next pick with the 12s everywhere.
And with the 142nd pick in the 2025 draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Riley Mills, defensive end from Notre Dame.
I love Riley Mills' tape. You see the production there. Unfortunately, had that injury where he hurt his knee late in the season. And to tell you just a little bit about the character of this guy, he wanted to be with his team in Atlanta for that playoff game, but he couldn't fly because he just had the surgery. So he gets in I believe it's a Winnebago, and drives there so he could be with his guys. So someone that's beloved at Notre Dame and someone who has the tape to back up being selected higher than he was right here. He can win on the backside with quickness. You'll see him run down wide receivers, screens. I just wrote down this guy's a winner. Yeah, this is just a winning player.
Yeah, this when he got hurt in the college football playoff. Chasing Nathan Morgan,
just got
quarterback that just got caught underneath, unfortunately. Not only that, he was in the combine for the medical and everything else. I had a chance to meet him down on the field, watching and encouraging. He's the type of guy you can't wait to add to your locker room.
All right, the Miami Dolphins latest selection, I imagine. We'll get the Dolphins' latest selection. That pick is in. The Browns just traded into the next pick, so they're back on the clock right now. This pick is coming from where the Dolphins are playing this fall. We'll find out on May 14th. Their opponent is. It's really good.
Hi, I'm Hugo, live from Madrid, where the Dolphins will play the first ever NFL game in Spain this season at Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. With the 143 pick, the Miami Dolphins selects Jordan Phillips, defensive tackle, Maryland.
It reminded me a little bit of Javon Hargrave, just in terms of that thick, strong lower body there at Maryland. Has that wide 4-point stance, violent handle, violent club swim moves, some pure bull rush. Not a lot of polish to his game, but you see a lot of power. You see the power, and you also see that quick jump around and get up into the backfield. Loves to have that type of a move to fool people. Transfer from Tennessee to Maryland. Provides a load inside.
Where did the Browns trade up for? 90 seconds left for them to be on the clock for that. And the Eagles, Patriots, and Niners here in Green Bay.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know is performance and durability go right along with it. You see, we test, and then we test again. World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time. For less than Harbor Freight.
You know, they say that AI is the future. Apartments.com has been using apartmental intelligence for many years with car. Is car listening? Two bed, AC. Okay. Two bed, maybe on top of stuff. That's exactly Apartments.com. The place to find a place.
With the Chase mobile app, things move a little more smoothly. Deposit checks easily and send money quickly. Make moves what's yours.
Bank is so much more than a great insurance company. It's one of America's largest financial services companies. Like, he's so much more than State Farm Market.
Also, stay calm, Barkley.
Oh, man, show me the uniform. Slow it down.
Oh, man. Stress. I'll never remember all this. Relax, bro. Things get intense. You get intense.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. Rise and shine. GMFB is live from LA, and we've got all things football.
They just don't lose.
If that's your jam, this is for you. Good morning football. Monday at 8 on NFL Network. Drew Sanders has been your best available for darn near 2 days. He's been 20th overall.
There have been rumors all day that the Philadelphia Eagles were interested in Shedeur Sanders. Would be a perfect landing spot for him. A veteran quarterback room, a team with a really good backbone, really good culture. The Cleveland Browns just traded over the Eagles. I wonder, obviously they had Dylan Gabriel yesterday. Did the Browns do this thinking the Eagles would take Shedeur and just maybe?
Well, that would be something. I mean, that would be something.
That's the only way I would say it. But let's see how the next 10 minutes plays out here. Since we got some shot to, they were the team that had Travis Hunter right there, and they passed up that chance. And then they passed up the chance at Shedeur after that. We get this accurately. I should have the card here since they're right on the clock. They passed on Shedeur 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and including the selection of Dylan Gabriel last night in 94 to complete the Heisman Trophy finalist quartet from Manhattan being drafted in this draft. The other 3, including Travis Hunter, drafted in the top 5 picks of this draft. If I told you they traded from 2 to 5 and got Shedeur Sanders, I don't think you would have thought we were saying you get the 5th round pick. All right, here's what you got. Here's the Cleveland Browns pick. Is this the moment?
The Seattle Seahawks have traded the 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders.
The reaction of the draft hall does it all. Shedeur Sanders just like the team that could have had him 6 times over, chose not to, including drafting another quarterback.
Let's give Shedeur his moment. Go for it.
Yeah, let's get to the film. I feel like we've talked about everything but the tape for so long now. Let's get to what Shedeur Sanders is on the grass. He's got a point guard style of quarterback play. It is timing and rhythm and accuracy. You'll see that here on this tape. Also, the offensive line under a lot of duress over the last 2 years, a lot of collapsing pockets. He's able to hang in there, show his toughness. Know you're going to get hit. Sit there, take your medicine, and deliver an accurate football that drops right out of the sky on the money. Now, this was the negative side of it. It was the drifting out of pockets. It was taking bad sacks at inopportune times. The thing to me was just playing faster. He just got to speed up his clock and play faster. But CD, when he's got everything lined up and he gets his feet in the ground, he is a very accurate thrower.
It isn't playing faster kind of the norm that we say for college quarterbacks, because things are going to go faster in the league to begin with. So things that you could get out of in college, because you always think your athleticism is going to beat most of the defensive than it usually does, you have to change that. But Rich, you keep coming back to how many different times Cleveland announced on him. We might be just getting an idea of where Cleveland had him ranked. And now they got him in that spot. I understand all this, but here's the best part for him. Kenny Pickett's there, Joe Flacco's there, Dylan Gabriel's there. There's no one there that he can't compete against. This is still an opportunity for him to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. It is a big quarterback room, but it's not one that's so daunting that Shedeur Sanders, who was a borderline first-round talent, can't go in there and compete. And to me, it's the right style of offense. They got the runners for him earlier in the draft. The way Stefanski calls plays, this fits what Shedeur Sanders is going to need to go forward in the NFL. We're going to hate where he went, but it's a good spot.
Let's talk about that, because we have been saying for 2 straight days now, it's not when you go, it's what you do when you go. I mean, Max Crosby even tweeted that out at the top of the 4th round, because he was a 4th round pick when he came in out of Eastern Michigan, and now look what he's become. So, yes, there will be an opportunity, one will think, but, I mean, there really is, only one football on occasion. And on top of that, how does that conversation go when you talk?
Exact same thing.
I can tell you exactly. First of all, the first thing is Shedeur had to verify whether it was real, because I saw that video.
Some idiot did that.
That somebody would ever do such a thing to anybody. Forget about who it is. Outside of that, how does that conversation go? Like, we're going to give you a shot, we're going to give you this, we'll give you that. And now, however you want to say a message has been sent or received, or whether it deserved to be sent or needed to be received, however you want to put it, he is now in a position of joining a team that not only drafted a quarterback, but won ahead of him. And could have had Travis Hunter on top of it and turn that opportunity away to get a draft choice in next year's draft, presumably because there's a better quarterback draft class next year. I'll give you the floor on that.
This is how this phone call goes. First of all, congratulations. Just got drafted in the National Football League. That's a special moment. So enjoy that. I know you're frustrated that you fell this far. The next thing I would say is, I know you're a competitor. Well, this is the biggest competition of your life, because when you were in high school, you were the quarterback. When you were in college at both stops, you were the quarterback. There was no competition. You listed off all these names. You have to fight, first of all, compete to win a job on this team. You've got to get a spot. Then after you do that, now you've got to compete to try and move your way up that depth chart. For some of the criticism of Shedeur, and some of it is, everything's been handed to him and it's been kind of controlled and the path has been laid out by Deion. He's coming into one of the most crowded quarterback rooms in the NFL as a 5th-round pick. He is going to have to earn everything. So that competitive nature, your dad's one of the most competitive people that's ever walked this earth. We're getting ready to find out how competitive Shedeur Sanders is. He's going to have to earn everything.
He's going to need the Baker Mayfield chip, their former quarterback, carry that with him. I co-sign on everything that you're saying, Daniel, and I think of it this way. I bet it's happened to you. I bet it's happened to you. There have been times where you have not gotten what you thought you had earned the way it came down. You've gotten news about certain things that you thought, you got to be kidding me. How come I'm getting this? How come I'm getting something else? I thought I deserved this over here. But the opportunity remains. What are you going to do now that that's in front of you? Are you going to continue to say, but I wanted this over here? That's not there anymore. This is what's here. It's right now. I've experienced it. I think a lot of people at home have experienced it. What's going to be the next step for you? You could be angry. You could be upset. I get it. The next step is go out and fight. And I'll guarantee you, that's part of what they're talking about in the Sanders family right now. You get a chance to show the guy that picked ahead of you you're better than him. You get a chance to show a guy who's won a Super Bowl that you're better than he is. You get a chance to show the guy who's a first-round pick that you're better than he is. This is your opportunity. So Shedeur Sanders, I get it. The frustration. I want to give you a hug for 2 days now. But now's the chance to get up and go. I've been there. It's not fun. But you got a choice to make. Battle or not. I think he's going to battle.
Well, in case anybody's wondering how often we see a draft where one team takes two quarterbacks in the same draft. It happened last year. The Patriots chose Drake May 3rd overall, but later on chose the current backup quarterback in Dallas and Joe Milton. And part of the reason why New England drafted this year won a game at the very end of the season. It turned out for being George Mayo's last game as head coach. They're looking up. Pittsburgh did it in 2022 as well.
The biggest one is RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Well, but it's I know it's different. I'll ask that question.
But it's different. That was there.
Because I remember
we were there.
And I remember I looked right at you guys. I looked right at me. I was sitting in your chair at the time, DJ, and I said, what is Washington doing right now? Because the only way that Cousins plays is if at RG3 goes so terribly bad for RG3, and then eventually it did, and Cousins then became
the guy,
one of the most generationally enriched year-to-year players this league has ever seen.
No doubt.
And now one of the most highly paid backups in the league. A lot of folks thought he could wind up in Cleveland if things didn't go right in this draft. Now, I mean, they're standing room only in that draft room, especially since we're assuming Watson needs one of those rascals to get around right now. And so, bottom line is, what happens now? Like, how do you do all that? I know Ward just told him it's time to be legendary. Let's do it. Now, that's the leadership that you need in your locker room. That's what I was talking about last night. It's like, it could be a circus. This, that, the other. Your locker room basically say, word that he only...
Because I want some donuts. What's your mom want? See, that in your eyes? I just really get sense for it.
It's now time
I think on it, though.
Show that particular
thing he missed was the hashtag.
Wants to chime in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have missed that.
Quarterback. You have it's always an exercise.
He's not expected to play.
It's always an exercise.
Everything else is now completely. So let's take a look at this draft. Let's do it. Dylan Gabriel, a high-energy future backup. Let's see what have him targeted. Sanders is a lottery ticket. Some view him as a future starter. If he develops, he could be more. We will see. The Cleveland Browns also, as you guys know, acquired a first-round pick in the future. They still need a franchise quarterback, one that can help them next year get whoever that ends up being. If Shedeur turns into the franchise quarterback that he believes he can be and other teams believe he can be, then they just have a free first next year. They can do whatever they want. It is a lottery ticket for the Browns. Very low cost.
You guys want to chime in on that?
Go ahead, DJ.
No, I'm sitting here thinking of, I think he's right. I keep coming back to that competition, and it's going to start with Dylan Gabriel. Like right there. To me, if I'm Shedeur, I'm going to say, okay, I know one thing. We show up to minicamp. I'm going to learn this stuff as fast as I possibly can.
Get down cold.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want a culture of competition, which every coach preaches, man, they drafted two big-time backs in this draft. Now they've got two quarterbacks. This is the purest form of sport, is competition. And before you can play the other team, you got to compete with your own guys. Now, it's going to be healthy, and they're not going to be hating on each other and fighting each other, but it's going to be a healthy competition, and it's going to be fun. Practice is a rookie minicamp, man. We got a quarterback competition at a rookie minicamp. How great is that?
I would run to Cleveland for the playbook and the opportunity right now. Because exactly what you're saying. Dylan Gabriel, that's who he is. That's what he's about. He's done it in 3 different places. UCF, Oklahoma, Oregon, and did it at a really high level. Adapted, changed, learned teammates, learned schools, all these things. I would run there if I'm Shedeur Sanders. I'd have my dukes up and we're going to fight. I've said this multiple times in different ways already today. We've all had these things along the way. There's been days when I've gone and been in a fetal position and turned down the shades, and I got to find a way to come back. Either you find a way back or it consumes you. And that's where he is right now. I think he's going to find his way back and go out there and fight. I don't doubt that at all. That's why I pounded the table for him in my article. But that's where the moment of truth is. But I'm a firm believer. What Ian said is right. It's a lottery ticket for Cleveland, but it's an opportunity. Because I think Cleveland wants to play the best guy. They've pumped through more quarterbacks again in the last few years. They're ready to play. And getting the backs, what they're doing with the line, they're signaling Kevin Stefanski football is back in play. And to me, that's perfect for a Shedeur Sanders. And I firmly believe he's got a better chance to start than Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel, I think, is going to be seen as pure backup. We'll see how it works.
I know Dillon Gabriel's not going to look at it.
I know he's not going to look at it that way. I'm telling you, if I'm drafting, I'm thinking Shedeur Sanders might be my starter. I know what I'm getting with Dillon Gabriel. I hope I get more. It's going to be a very interesting fight on his hands.
And then just to lastly, how does a common quarterback competition work with four guys? Like, and two rookies.
He's going to have to
you want to talk about the exact opposite of a rookie is somebody who won comeback player of the year pushing 40.
I don't know that you have all four. I
think close to 40, actually.
I really think they're going to have all four there.
Once we get to, let's see when we get to training camp. The other thing is, Joe Flacco, I can imagine if, hey, Joe, we're going to take some reps off you. I don't know that you're going to get a big argument there from Joe, as much football as he's played at his age.
He came off the couch and sometimes back moments here. He's not worried about it.
Moments ago, Shedeur Sanders, this is his reaction. Yep. It's time to take the plunge. Get into the National Football League. Is not league that way to hear his name is over. Hopefully that is nice chilling water. Shedeur Sanders is a Cleveland run with a different quarterback taken by the team that just drafted him. Can't keep it up.
Is presented by Verizon NFL, powered by Verizon 5G.
Verizon Small Business Days are back. For experts, closer than you think.
Yes, great.
Nice surprise, huh? Ready to help. Serving up deals, advice, wherever you are. Even on the job.
Hi.
And making sure all your tech
Let's take a look.
is good to go. April 21st to 27th. Don't wait. Get started today.
We were born on the battlefield and answered the call when America needed us most. The Jeep brand has always stood for American freedom. Now, with our Freedom of Choice pricing program, visit your local dealer to choose your offer. Cash incentives or employee pricing for Jeep, America's most patriotic brand. With Freedom of Choice pricing, get $7,000 bonus cash insurance. And employee pricing for all 2025 Jeep Platinum agreement costs and convenience. See your local Jeep brand dealer today.
Graduates, today you enter the real world, ready for whatever lies ahead, except for the following, which you are likely to find exceedingly difficult. Going to a 9-to-5 job, doing your taxes, putting on a duvet cover, taking off a duvet cover, realizing you're never going to go to the gym. This guy knows what I'm talking about. In summary, life is hard, but saving money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive is easy. Oh, yeah, deciding what's for dinner every night for the rest of your life.
Hey, you're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial? Since when? You gotta wait till it's finished. 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That and he's brilliant recovery with the low sack. He always delivers, and so does the low sack.
Fifth round.
After taking Dylan Gabriel at the end of the third round, let's get to our draft tracker now, presented by Lexus. Taking a look at all the names that have come off the board since Shedeur Sanders. Mac McWilliams, cornerback from UCF, went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Latest pick was the Cowboys. Just got their running back, perhaps, and Jaden Blue, right there from the state of Texas, in the Texas Longhorns. Miami Dolphins have their pick in at number 150. So do the Colts. And the Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. Look at the last 5 picks. Mason Marshall, Jr. from Florida. The cornerback is the most selection, 150 overall, down in Miami. Hello, everybody. Welcome here inside our NFL Network studios here in Los Angeles. I'm Red Lewis, Brian Baldinger, Maurice Jones-Drew. Excited to be back here with you. We'll get you out to Green Bay again here shortly with Rich Eisen in the group. And, guys, we talked about it for 3 days. Now, Shedeur Sanders, now officially a Cleveland Brown. 40 quarterbacks have started games for the Cleveland Browns since they made their return to Cleveland. If, in fact, Shedeur Sanders becomes the 41st or 42nd or even 43rd here, depending on the names the Browns now have in their quarterback room, let's start with what that might actually look like in the Kevin Stefanski system here.
Well, I want to know how you're going to orchestrate this.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel was a third-round pick, 94th pick. Kenny Pickett is there. Joe Flacco is a guy that took him to the playoffs 2 years ago. He's 40 years old. He's back in Audubon, New Jersey right now, watching this whole thing unfold. I thought as soon as Cleveland took Dylan Gabriel with the 94th pick in the third round yesterday, that it took Cleveland off the interest of drafting a quarterback. And we kept doing this through the first round, the second round, the third round. Once the team took a quarterback, like you eliminated Shedeur from those positions. And now he's 2 rookie quarterbacks on this team. There's only so many reps. There's only so many preseason games. I don't even know how you would evaluate what you're going to do.
Yeah. I can't wait. You've got some thoughts on that, MJD. We're going to get to it here in a second, but we got to get to Berlin for a pick where the Colts are going to host the first ever NFL regular season game in Berlin, and we're going to get their pick now at 151.
Jugendtag from the Olympic Stadium here in Berlin, Germany. This season, the Indianapolis Colts will make history as the first NFL team to play a regular season game right in this beautiful stadium. We are excited to bring Colts football to fans around the world. Let me introduce you to star defensive player, team captain, Kenny Moore II.
With the 151st pick, 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select DJ Giddens, running back, Kansas State. See you in Berlin. Auf Wiedersehen.
All right, I love it. Go ahead, Jake. Look at this. They must have looked at the rankings.
Yeah, look at the sudden price. Oh, I love it. A big back that's sudden and can stop, makes people miss. Look at that. You don't see that with big guys, 6 foot plus, 200 plus pounds. You don't see a lot of that. Again, it can make people miss. What is that? Just the shiftiness, the suddenness, the ability to burst out. Played injured this year, too. He's a little banged up, so that's a good pick. They must have been, checking it out NFL.com.
All right, we'll check that out. We saw their running back, Jonathan Taylor, their second and third round picks last night. JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State, Justin Wally from Minnesota, the corner, and then, of course, they took Tyler Warren with their first round pick out of Penn State. Let's get back to Shedeur Sanders, though, MJD.
Yeah.
You know this Kevin Stefanski system. How do you see Shedeur's fit with him?
I think this is a perfect fit. This system is ran all through the league. You talk about the Atlanta Falcons run it, the Houston Texans run it, the San Francisco 49ers run it, the Green Bay Packers run it, the Los Angeles Rams run it, the Miami Dolphins run it. And the reason I say the Dolphins, think of what Tua Tagovailoa and what his strong suits coming out of Alabama. Timing and anticipation. That's what you see from Shedeur Sanders. He gets the ball out quick. He's going to have a great running game. A lot of half-field reads, play-action pass. To me, if you should just be a point guard, you saw what DJ put on there as a point guard. Just that's what you need. There's some teams in Minnesota under Kevin Stefanski. So I love this fit. And you may talk about, hey, how do you get out there? Being in Jacksonville, and it was probably 9 running backs. You know how you get out there? First, you do it in the meeting room, right? Being smart and being on the board, answering questions and gaining trust. Then you get on the field and you start making plays. And then you get in the preseason and you start making some big-time throws. Dak Prescott did that with the Cowboys in Week 1 against Los Angeles. Back on the field. And then all of a sudden, they got to keep playing because you're giving yourself the best chance. Competing is all that matters at this point. I think he's in the best situation to do that there in Cleveland.
So we had 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks last year. Shedeur Sanders, the 6th quarterback off the board, and it comes in the 5th round in this 2025 NFL draft. Okay, time now for Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS. Looking at the highest production scores for quarterbacks in this draft, and look, I mean, that is one of the crown jewels of that draft profile for Shedeur Sanders. His production was unquestioned there. Turned 2 programs around in Jackson State and then, of course, in college. And is a big piece of that success the last 2 years in college. All right, Browns fans, fire up. They get not 1, but 2 look quarterbacks to pick this Browns franchise back to the postseason. Quarterback.
What do you do when things get tough? You don't give up. You stand your ground. You've been diagnosed with metastatic cancer and tried hormone therapy. Ask your doctor about Pluvicto. Pluvicto is not chemotherapy. It's a different treatment that targets PSMA-positive cells. It's now FDA approved after 1 hormone therapy and before chemotherapy. Pluvicto involves contact with radioactivity, which may increase the risk for cancer and cause fatal. Kidney fluids, urinary, use contraception, and talk to your doctor about ways to reduce the risk of exposure to radiation during vascular treatment. Low levels of kidney problems and infertility. Tell your doctor if you have weakness, pale skin, shortness of breath, bleeding, bruising more easily, an infection, or changes in urination. Side effects include decreased blood cell counts, tiredness, dry mouth, nausea, appetite loss, or back pain, and constipation. See your doctor about Pluvicto, because every day without cancer depression is a victory. Made with realized teeth, real vodka, refreshing, goes down smoothly. Good times clears with Sun Cruiser. It's kitchen surf. Working. Key. Take a look. Every shoe for every athlete. NFL schedule. Released for the day. Next.
Kids, we do make a great playoff bragging rights in there. Like my guy won the game.
Think about it. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Thousands of families affected by disasters urgently need support. You can help the American Red Cross provide help and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org/NFL today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
Game 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft continues, and that's right there. Yeah. You know, so nice thing. We've got St. Pencil.
He says Green Bay style, that extra cheese?
Hey, I suppose.
Okay.
Boy, it was a green and golden night in the first round there in Green Bay. Matthew Golden, 3rd receiver off the board, 23rd overall, first taken in the first round by the Green Bay Packers since Javon Walker back in 2002. Baldy?
Yeah.
What do you love about Matt Golden?
Well, I love the jacket. I love the suit. I love the reception that he got in Green Bay.
Yeah.
But this is the guy that has studs, and he has a purse, and he had production at Texas this year. I loved everything about Matthew Golden. He was my number one wide receiver this entire draft. Wow, MJ. So
you're not alone.
When I watch him here, like I think he's a complete player now. So here he is. You got to be pressed up. All right, now there's the stud to come back to the ball, good skills. All right, to be able to separate right here, and like. This little big route beside, like when he catches it, he's on the fly now. Like this catch right here, like that's a one-handed, like put that on his resume case, right? Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. But his ability just to adjust to a ball, that's a great piece of film right there. But his ability to adjust in traffic, they all got to be able to do this now. You got to catch the ball in traffic, contested catches. He kind of showed it all. And then when he went to the combine and ran a 4.29 on top of all of it, he's a complete receiver with real speed.
Yeah, to me, you saw a lot of underthrown balls, which means he has real speed. You hope Jordan Love has that ability to be able to make put that ball out there, which I think they will be. But it's about winning in the playoffs for me for the Green Bay Packers and going out and drafting one of the bigger guys. And Anthony Belton lets me know they want to run the football. They want to protect their quarterback. And that's what you're looking for in Green Bay. There's a lot of this.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. My favorite late round pick, George Kittle.
That late.
Many teams doubted you. Red Guardian was doubted too.
Shouldn't he say to the
I'm looking for sleepers in the rounds. Maybe they will get their face on Wheaties box, like you. You sure about that? Sure, huh?
I mean, you could have picked a better picture at least.
Look at that.
Come on.
The Studios Thunderbolts, rated PG-13, only used May 2nd. Audiences are loving Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. Play Halo Beast. It's an MCU game changer.
Is that all you got?
sense today?
Feeling it message.
I don't get time.
It's not that Marvel. It's Avengers Endgame. Marvel Studios Thunderbolts. Get tickets now.
Welcome back to Green Bay, the Miami Dolphins. Making the next selection, it is the 19th pick of the fifth round, 185 overall. We'll work our way through. Let's go down to the stage here and see what Miami is selected to do.
Undefeated team of history of the NFL, the Miami Dolphins select Captain Jr., defensive back.
The Dolphins spent a little time shoring up the middle. They've also gone secondary here. They do again with Dante Trader Jr.
But you want to use the physical presence, race for the Maryland Terrapins in that secondary. Not physically consulting, but he plays a physical brand of football, and he does a great job reading the quarterback, breaking on the ball, driving on the football. They lacks top end physical traits. You look at him, second on the team in tackle, 4 play pass breakup. This kid was a member of that nationally ranked Maryland lacrosse team, 5th ranked player coming out of high school in 2021 in lacrosse. So he's an athlete. I'll tell you what, Matt, he had a really good year for the Maryland Terrapins. Physical presence with big-time striking ability. He's got good range and coverage.
Yeah, Bill, he's a player we both like. You wonder, why is he here? Well, he ran a 4.65 at the Maryland Pro Day. That's why he's here. But I think his versatility is good. He plays with natural instincts. Now, he doesn't always stands out in terms of height, speed, length, but I think the playmaking abilities there. 3-year starter as well. So he can play that deep safety role. He can come down, play the box, and have a very balanced safety. And you think about Miami, they lost the safety. Ron Holland's gone. They had a huge need in the secondary here. So Traylon's going to have an opportunity. Even as a 5th round pick, he's going to have an opportunity to climb this depth chart and get onto the field for the Miami Dolphins. Here the Dolphins have done. A powerful defensive tackle from Michigan, and Rams first off the board for this. That brings us to Kansas City. McDaniel apparently very pleased with the most recent turn of events there. Kansas City Chiefs making the next selections here in the 5th round.
Pittsburgh Steelers have traded the 156th pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. With the 156th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Jeffrey Bassa, linebacker, Oregon.
Jeffrey Bassa was a 4-year starter for the Ducks and transitioned during his time there. He continued to battle through. Senior Bowl guy, voted National Team's top linebacker during practice. And he's got a nice physical measurable, just over 6'1", 230 pounds, 4'6" in the 40s. When you can keep him clean and let him run side by side, the guy can make plays. Now, there was a play at the second level of him setting a block and moving laterally and getting off, but that's not something he consistently seems to be able to get done. But if you can have some big defensive tackles in front of him, give him some clean reads, let him hit it downhill field, he'll make a lot of plays for you.
But look, my brain was sharing a brain with yours for a little bit right there. This is a weak side linebacker, right? This is a guy who began his college career as a defensive back. He is at his best when you are asking him to spill over the top from those defensive tackles who has clogged some of those gaps in front of him. He can run, he can strike. This guy can hit. Let me tell you what, up close and personal, this one was looked the part linebacker. He has got some impressive physical traits.
Bassa, the latest selection by the Chiefs at the 8th Duck to go off the board. That ties a record in the common draft era for Oregon that they set last year. Dan Lanning's been accumulating some talent in the G. Jeffrey Bassa, the last one he selected.
When you list on Apartments.com, renters will start coming out.
Single family home, yes, please. See the dishwasher. Ooh, look at the ceilings.
But I got one question. The utilities included? Apartments.com.
Please.
Over ideas everywhere. Let's go with lazy thinking. When we're not careful, they can sneak in everything. When you're not bound to the past, ideas can't hold you back. Exquisite design with the soul that explores you. Genesis.
Taco Bell crispy chicken nuggets. I can't believe how good they are.
How can't you believe that?
It's your Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not chicken place. When did you guys become a chicken place? Chicken, pizza, taco place, do good nuggets. Are we not allowed to do both? What do you eat? I think it's cool to do both, right?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place. That's a chicken place. That's also a taco place.
Bleeding is the worst. But now, there's Spruce. You'll see visible results in 1 hour and dead weeds in 1 day. And it's safe for use around people and pets. Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass.
It's holding up. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival. But you know there's value in space. You are fighting this without the mark of fight.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious.
Check me out. Best tires in the world. Too much change. And even when I was close to defeat, I was taking my time to
And here on day 3 of the NFL Draft, great round, Saturday evening. Here are some of the recent selections. Elijah Roberts, edge rusher from SMU, going to Tampa Bay Buccaneers and now the Los Angeles Chargers about to make a pick. And before that, we go to Athens, Greece. See what Harbaugh's squad will do.
Good evening from Athens, Greece. I'm Maria Olsen, the interim U.S. ambassador. And as a Wisconsin girl myself, special shout out to all the fans there in Green Bay. Behind me, you'll see the iconic Oculus of Athens. I want to say a special thanks to the Chargers and to the Spanos family for bringing the NFL to Greece. Now, with the 158th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver, Auburn. Bolt up.
The Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver, transferred into Auburn. The big plays Page Thorne and company in a difficult season for the time.
It started in Penn State. It sure was. That's right. Auburn via Penn State, a 4-year member of the Penn State program, and this guy's the only player in Penn State program's history with multiple catches of at least 80 yards. He's instant offense. And there's a difference between a guy that just runs a 4.37 and a guy who runs a 4.37, but it never looks like he is efforting to get to that top speed. Lewis. He's long, a little bit lanky, not the most physical of wide receivers. I was surprised throughout the pre-draft process, though, how little this guy buzz, at least in terms of the draft media discourse.
Yeah, he has got downfield speed, sub 4.4, and it's the contested catches, the high pull catches that he's just a master at. Saw him do it in person when they played against Texas A&M in overtime, made a great catch back at the end zone. Defenders breaks all over. The Chargers needed to upgrade the wide receiver. Now with him and Trey Harris, I'll tell you what, Justin Herbert's got some moves now he can put it up to his score.
Nephew of Cam Chancellor. Let's see, has the bloodline. This area.
You think strong Justin Herbert's happy with the pair of receivers the players up front, and especially Lambert-Smith's speed down the field?
And they've attacked that. And Amarian Hampton to go along with Najee Harris. I mean, he's got hammers everywhere. This is now a Jim Harbaugh team. And he's the big, physical guy who can win at the point of attack. You get your quarterbacks and toss it. When he talks about the things, have you ever listened to Jim Harbaugh's offensive? They have never seen us folks. He's so more music and his praise to his quarterbacks than Jim Harbaugh. And it's absolutely like it's breathtaking how much he loves that guy. But you and Tyler Shuck, real back. Yeah, they could not stop the run. And also the quality of that defense. Who would have foregone a free agency down to Mike Holmes? So it's him to pick that spot. No, he's not. Green Bay on the clock after that pick. Straight for Germany.
Good evening from Germany. We're coming to you live from the home of the Falcon Galaxy, having a great day watching day 3 of the draft. It's a pleasure to announce the following pick. With the 159th pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Colin defensive end Oklahoma State.
Frankfurt to land of the front, and it's Colin Oliver from the Cowboys. Saints. Might have to lie back to the Packers. Yeah, there had been some time this year with a foot injury that affected his production. I think that's why he slips in the draft a little bit. But he's versatile. They list him as an edge. I think he can play as a linebacker as well. Some first speed around the corner. Pass rusher and from the ended up running a 4.56 in the 3.
Good, bro.
Not going to be the kind of guy that you can play, but it bangs down. It's third and longer, maybe even a second and long situation. Colin Oliver, the kind of player you'd like to see unleashed. The Packers drafted 2 edge rushers so far on day 3. Barrett Soul, first in the 4th round, and now Colin Oliver, one of a couple of Oklahoma State defenders that have heard their name called since last week. Reaction. They fans walked amongst them after making that big
San Francisco 49ers will make the next selection. We'll certainly keep you up to date on all the picks. But early in the first round on Thursday night, third overall pick, New York Giants. The Giants certainly the side of trend. With the third pick, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter.
I'm all New York. New York is everything for me. All the passion I have, all the love that I have.
The New York Giants have just traded back into the first round.
The New York Giants select Jackson Dart.
So that's what the Giants did in the first round. And for more on the Giants, let's join Adam and Peter. Well, thanks very much, Reese, to break down the Giants draft picks and everything that's gone on this weekend. We are joined today by the Giants general manager, Joe Shea. Can we see Joe anywhere?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah, hello there, Joe. Peter, you want to get yourself here?
Great seeing you, Joe. Obviously, we appreciate you coming on in the middle of the draft. Still some picks to go, but let's go to the pick in the end of the first round. You guys were staying patient. You're holding firm. And then you made a move with the Houston Texans. The philosophy, maybe the strategy of going back into the draft and getting your quarterback, Jackson Dart. Yeah, we went through an extensive process with quarterbacks. I know it's well documented this year, and we identified Jackson as a player that we were open to targeting at the end of the first round.